Okay, so this is part 5 on the series how to hack the law of attraction, how to make it work for you as opposed to against you, and how to make the law of attraction work for you faster than ever before. If you haven't already listened to the first 4 parts, I will highly suggest that you do that before you listen to this one to give you proper context. And again, this is highly significant information. It's information that it's rarely discussed in most success philosophy books or programs or audiobooks created by many successful people or gurus or coaches. So I will encourage you to pay keen attention to this audio, as well as the many other ones that have been created for your own benefit to give you proper comprehension and understanding of how the laws of physics, mainly the quantum code, which I have called or referred to as the code for life secrets to success. So please pay close attention, because this will blow your mind. This will help you to transcend many of the challenges, problems, situations that you have in your life, are currently experiencing, or will experience. So on part 5 of this series, I want to talk to you about how your DNA programming may be preventing you from manifesting your desires, factually working against you so as to make you not have that which you desire. And in this audio series, I teach you how you can correct that. And it's based on a mindset, on 3 basic, simple understandings of how the laws of physics work and what they suggest as far as how we can align ourselves to the physical laws of the universe to create lifestyles or to create our goals and desires in ways that have not been experienced before. So please pay close attention to the following. First of all, I wanted to create this post to help you become aware of a deep reality that most, I believe, do not know of when they engage the law of attraction, or the concept of the law of magnetic attraction. And of course, this is my unique perspective, but it is my intention to give you clear and concise value to help you achieve your dreams. First, you must know this one thing as factual. Nobody has a monopoly over knowledge or wisdom. There is no perfect example, book, or guru who can claim the ultimate truth of life. Knowledge and all the specific forms on the law of magnetic attraction is something you have to strongly consider when you listen about this concept. This is why it is advised that you consider as many points of reference, that you consider as many points of view, and that you consider as many frames of mind as you possibly can. Why? Because knowledge is like the world of numbers. Take math, for example. There's basic addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. Those are the basics of math. Then there is percentages and fractions. Then there is algebra 2, trigonometry. There's calculus, there's linear equations, calculus with physics, and even now, quantum physics, quantum mechanics, which is mind-blowing. So subjects seem to expand like upward, like a tree. It creates branches of knowledge based on the same basic principles for which they were founded upon. So in the same manner, numbers extend to infinity, and knowledge is integrated in the same way. We can never know it all, nor will we be ever in a place where we can say that we know it all. Knowledge is infinite, always. So with that foundation, with that being said, the 3 following law of attraction understandings, I guarantee, will progressively build you up to become a dream manifesting machine. That is a promise. As long as you engage, as long as you truly know and practice these principles in your life. So the first law of attraction understanding that you got to keep in mind is this: know the full extent of your creative ability. Again, know, not know about, not have a basic understanding thereof. It's know the full extent of your creative ability. They include, or your creative ability includes and fully is encompassed by your thoughts, your words, both spoken and written, your actions. Yes, you must know when to take action, and doing the right things long enough consistently is paramount to the process of creation. Finally, and please pay close attention to this one, your DNA 24/7 vibration. Yes, your DNA 24 hours a day, 7 days a week vibrates. You gotta know that. All energy vibrates 24/7, and this includes the coding or the data that is programmed in your DNA, meaning the thoughts, the words, and actions that you inherit from your personal bloodline, your family line. Let me repeat that again, because this is highly significant, and I will suggest you write this down. Your DNA vibrates 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. All energy vibrates 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And this includes the coding, the data that is programmed into your DNA. What coding, what program? The thoughts, the words, actions, beliefs, habits that you inherit from your personal bloodline or your family line. This one concept is probably the one most relevant to your creative ability. And I would suggest it consists of more than 80% of your creative ability, if not 99.9% of your creative ability, meaning everything that happens to you, everything that you create in life, your reality, and that has ever happened and continues to happen, is essentially drawn in mostly by your DNA vibration. Keep that in mind as you listen to this. This is because you can only think for so long, and you can only speak so much. You can only take action to a certain extent. These are vibrations broadcast from your brain to create your reality. But your body DNA vibrates 24/7 the nature of your coding, your DNA programming. And this is a mind-blowing subject. So if you observe that your life is full of struggle, sickness, depression, stress, anxiety. Maybe there's a lot of anger in your life, arguments, and all kinds of negative experience. I can almost guarantee that you are creating it mainly because this is a direct reflection of your DNA coding. And this is a quantifiable process. Your thoughts, words, and actions, which turn into habits, exist in your brain in the form of dendrites and neural pathways. These pulsate electrical signals into your body. Your brain will create the chemical equivalent of those electrical signals. These chemicals then flood your bloodstream and feed your entire genetic makeup by feeding it to your cells. Your cells then continue to rewrite your genetic code with the original electrical impulses from your brain. So, congratulations to you. You have a powerful body mechanism that can be programmed to vibrate 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for you, the desires of your heart and your soul. So then the question, of course, comes up. How do you clear or remove? How do you delete and replace the negative coding in your DNA? Again, how do you clear, remove, delete, and replace the negative coding in your DNA? And I'll get to that here soon. So just keep listening. Here's law of attraction understanding number 2. It's another thought, another mindset, another principle you must always keep in mind. And that is this. Know and fully grasp that the law of attraction is at the base of a fully encompassing set of quantum laws of the universe. What does this mean? I'll illustrate it this way. Would you allow a 5th grader with basic elementary knowledge attempt to create a blueprint to build your home? Of course not. See, most people who have read the book The Secret or a book on success, maybe they listen to a success coach, a guru, maybe a emotionally hyped, rah, you can go, you can do it type information. Or maybe you watch the movie and you learn a principle, or the principle that you can have be and do whatever you want. Maybe you learn about the law of attraction. And this is at no fault of your own because of the way this thing is being marketed to the masses or to the people. And it's one of the main reasons why most people fail. And that this happens. People learn these things and they go on to attempt to use the various techniques they watch. They read the book a couple times, maybe watch the movie a few times, listen to the training a few times, and then they feel like experts. And they go on to attempt to create or to make success happen. And of course, most of the time this backfires because they only have a limited understanding of how and what it takes to create a blueprint to build a home. So yes, you are not ready but you can be. You should at least consider passing the bar exam before you begin to practice law, per se. This does not mean that you need to have your doctorate in quantum mechanics and success philosophy, but it does mean that we must be fully aware that a highly teachable mind must be put in place to grasp and persevere in these understandings. You want to be in a place where you are always learning more about the subject, but never be in a place where you think you know it all and then you stop learning. Also, don't attempt to learn everything about it before you play the game. Words in reality teach very little, but life experience is, of course, the best teacher. So whether that be failure or success, experientially is the best teacher. And this is the one thing about the law of attraction that you must also keep in mind. Because the law of attraction, again, is but one of a fully encompassing set of quantum laws of the universe. And I would suggest that the second most important law that you should know about is the opposite side of the coin of the law of magnetic attraction. Factually, it's also the same law of friction. In the same way things are magnetized, the opposite side is things create friction as well if they don't vibrate harmoniously. The universe by law will move you into the place that harmonizes your most prevalent set point of vibration, or your 24-hour, 7-day DNA vibratory rate. Let me repeat that again. The universe by law will move you into the place that harmonizes your most prevalent set point of vibration, or your 24-hour, 7-day DNA vibratory rate. So being highly aware of your environment, where you live, your neighborhood, your family and friends, your job and work environment, all of it is to serve you and to make you absolutely aware of what you are vibrating 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And again, you must clear, remove, delete, and then replace the negative programming if you don't like what you are experiencing. So if you are drowning in a sea of negativity, then know this is good, since you now know the score, where you stand in relation to where you desire to go. This process also helps you to keep score as to whether you are making progress or not. The law is immutable, and your environment and experience will always match your DNA coding or programming. And this, in fact, since it vibrates 24/7, the energy of your frequencies programs your reality like a canvas, and it reflects back to you exactly the nature of that coding. So to give you some examples, let me share with you a couple of experiences. These are personal. I have always been pretty good at making money, relatively. I was good with finances, and when I wanted to make a purchase, I've always had the ability or managed to get whatever I wanted. But there was a certain experience, or there were certain experiences that kept influencing or making me stumble, per se, into creating the success as I was progressively working and intending to progress towards my bigger goals or dreams. And what kept happening is this. It is like when I was always ahead, unforeseen occurrences would happen that would set me back. It was like I was unlucky. That was the feeling I kept getting. And I didn't know why it was happening. But consider that the answer was screaming at me the whole time. My experience was telling me exactly when my DNA was vibrating. It was not a belief that I had, but my experience made me acknowledge that when I was ahead, something would set me back, making me feel unlucky and like a victim. That was the program, the coding of what I was vibrating from my DNA. Let me repeat that again because it's highly significant that you reflect my experience towards your experience. Because the universe will bring you or reflect to you exactly what you're given it. Mainly your DNA vibratory rate and the coding of it. So my experience was telling me exactly what my DNA was vibrating. Again, and it was not a belief that I had, but it was the feeling that described to me exactly the nature of that program, which made me feel that when I was ahead, something would set me back, making me feel unlucky and like a victim. That was the program or the code that I was vibrating. So where did it originate from? Of course, your bloodline. Ask your parents or grandparents to see if they had similar experiences and listen to their words so as to the interpretation of their experience. Another example, consider the program that said that when ahead set me back and made me feel unlucky and like a victim. This program, this code, this vibration welcome or attracted or created a new set of programming. And what kept happening is that I was forced to help others by giving away of my hard-earned money. And in my experience, what kept happening is that family members will fall into financial hardships. And since, of course, I love my family very much and desire the best for them, then of course I would gladly and happily depart from what I had to help them out. But what kept happening is that I was forced to do this for prolonged periods. And in essence, I found myself enabling them by becoming a crutch. So this gave life to a similar program that said, I am sick and tired of paying for other people's mistakes. That was the program, that was the code that created that experience. The experience didn't create the program created the experience. So I was literally paying money for other people's inability to care for themselves and be responsible. Their own mistakes. So can you see the pattern? Are you able to see the connection of how the program that was in my DNA that said that the second I was ahead, the universe will create an experience where it will set me back, and then the experience will make me feel unlucky and like a victim. And since this vibrates and attracts or creates similar programs, it created a program where It said that I will become sick and tired of paying for other people's mistakes, which in fact creates the experience of being sick and tired of paying for other people's mistakes. That's the connection. That's the pattern. We all have programs like that. There are layers and layers of these garbage codes written into our DNA. And if we don't do the proper processes to clear, delete, remove, and replace these codes from our entire makeup, then our progress will always be met with frustration and desperation. So, of course, these programs will always counter or neutralize the frequencies that we broadcast with positive intention. This has been proven beyond a shadow of a doubt by the principle of particle wave duality. This is the basics of all quantum mechanics. Look it up. You can Google it. It's called particle wave duality. And that when opposing vibrations meet, they cancel each other out. So we essentially may have this dark cloud of negative and a white ball of positive energy always vibrating and clashing. And your feelings will always indicate which one is predominantly bigger. So keep that in mind. Keep that concept always in focus at the forefront of your daily experience as you become aware of your daily life. It's hyper important that you think about this. And of course, there are systems or protocols, not quick fixes, but they are short to long-term solutions of support that can help us progressively decrease the dark cloud's intensity so that the positive can replace the programming. In essence, this is what we can do to reprogram our DNA into better vibrations, higher frequencies. So more on that later. But keep listening as I go over the third understanding on the law of attraction. So what is the law of attraction understanding number 3? And that is this. The law of magnetic attraction teaches you that you have the moral obligation to achieve your desires. Let me repeat that again. The law of magnetic attraction teaches you that you have the moral obligation to achieve your desires. And not doing so will tantamount to being selfish and possibly evil. For holding off on our dreams and goals will create chaos and pain. And this is not philosophy, this is actually a consequence of natural or of nature, of how life works and how the laws of physics work in our life. So have we noticed in movies most of the time it is the bad guys who are ultra rich, that they are rich because they are either a mobster, oppressing others, drug traffickers, or armed dealers? It seems that there is always a wave of programming telling us that in order to be wealthy and or financially rich, you have to be evil and cheat others of their hard-earned income. That it is only by taking advantage of others that you get ahead. That it is all about the survival of the fittest. That you are either strong and prey on others or become the prey for the strong. So the question is, do we buy into that? Do we subconsciously believe these images and scenarios? And of course, this is far from the truth. For consider the following thoughts. We have the moral obligation to make happen the things that we want to happen. In essence, we have the responsibility to do so, because otherwise we start to hurt ourselves and others. And I will go as far as to say that it is insidious and evil, since you are not living your highest vision of yourself, or at least being in the process of achieving a personal, worthwhile goal. So how can I say that? Let me illustrate it this way. If we are seeing a hopeless baby in a pool drowning, and we stand still and watch the baby drown, most people will consider you and I a piece of crap. And then how will we feel afterwards about ourselves? And I will go as far as to say that when we allow fears and negative thinking overpower our will to go after what we want, we are letting the seeds of our goals and dreams drown. And for those of us who may have no idea what we want, does not that mean that we are just standing at the edge of the pool, watching for someone else to do what we know is intrinsically good and right? Are we still abdicating our power away and waiting for someone else to come to the rescue? But consider this. One may say, but I can only go as far as pulling the toddler out of the water and attempt CPR. But any more than that, I would not know what to do. So wouldn't we call 911, right? We would not hesitate, and we will not give it a second thought, of course. We will call the experts. We will get the professionals to come in and do whatever it takes to help that helpless child be revived. Every expense and resource will not be negotiated. The paramedics are not thinking about the gas in the ambulance. They are not thinking whether they will waste equipment on a hopeless case. They are not thinking, what if I fail? What if something bad happens on the way to the scene? What if a car crashes into us? Then we can't make it. Of course, we will not think such things in the midst of such an emergency. But the reality is that we do this all the time. How can I say that? Our dreams and goals, like that drowning baby, are exposed to a barrage of negative waters. They tell us we can't do it, that it won't work, that bad things could happen, that maybe we will fail, and then people will laugh at us and tell us, I told you so. Our own thoughts may be consistently telling us things like, don't waste your money, don't waste your time, you are not smart enough. How many times are you going to keep trying and failing? So the question is, how many babies have we allowed to sink and drown? How many times have we proven that we, in fact, are acting in a harmful manner? The fact of the matter is that our dreams and goals save people's lives. It inspires others to do the same, to be saved from lives of drudgery and boredom, lives of desperation and confusion, lives of emptiness, and not knowing how to create happiness. It allows the parent to actually pay for the house cash so that her children can actually live in a house of their own and not owned by a bank. It allows us to create lifestyles where we are experiencing ourselves healthy and strong because we know we have the moral obligation to do so for ourselves, and it may inspire others to do the same who may need our shining example. In movies, we may look forward to the good guys winning and beating the forces of evil. But in real life, do we express envy and hatred for people who have created lifestyles of financial wealth and prosperity? Do we hate or criticize those who may be living the lives we would love to experience? Do we not see that they have won the battle to their negative thinking? Do we not see that they are experts at defeating their personal demons and factually fighting the monsters trying to drown that helpless baby? Should we not give positive recognition to them, thanking them for their courage to be able to do what is intrinsically right? And then should we not also then appreciate them for the competent person that they have become? Should we not then do everything we can to learn from them, to ask them questions so as to learn and emulate? Then do we not have the same moral obligation to defeat those demons trying to drown our babies, the seeds of our dreams and goals? What do you think? And how do you feel about this? Let me go over a lesson here on physics. Quantum tunneling and quantum superposition. These concepts suggest, it teaches us that we have gifts. In essence, life-saving skills and attributes that people need. People are in desperate need for us to find our gifts and our skills and integrate them. People are in desperate need of our true abilities and, in essence, our true power. Have we given them our 911 number in case of an emergency? If they don't have it, then are we not just causing an act of injustice? Businesses give people the ability to create dignity for others. Employment, salaries, and the purchase of tools and maintenance makes money go to 1,000 different people who fulfill and help the productivity and the proper, successful function of such business. It creates money for people's rent or mortgage. It creates money to pay for that energy bill and the water bill. It creates money for food, for parents to feed their children. And it all starts with one person's desire, goal, or dream. Can we see the connection? So, what are our seeds of desire? Our seeds of our goals and dreams that others may benefit from. And is this not the golden rule that we can do for others as we will have others do for us? So this suggests that business is good and that business is moral and that creating wealth for ourselves and others is good and moral. Is it not? So the lesson here is for you not to approach using the law of attraction as if to say, well, let's see if this will work. Don't play with it per se. Don't just poke it to see if something is going to move or if something is going to happen. Don't have the attitude where you think, I'm just going to try and see what happens. In order to make it happen, in order to make your dreams come true, You have to engage fully. You have to commit, persevere, and do the right things correctly, long enough, consistently. Because if you don't, you will create the opposite. So, to conclude, to wrap it up, let's go over just a few points as reminders of what was being said here. Essentially, these are principles that can help you reprogram your DNA, which may be preventing you from manifesting your desires and factually making the law of attraction work against you. And that is these mindsets that you have to work on and exercise and know about. Number one is this: engaging the law of magnetic attraction is not a quick fix pill, but it is a principle that must be engaged fully, wholeheartedly. It is a lifetime process. It is the way of life. Number two, it is imperative also that we are fully aware of our creative ability, including the mechanics of our DNA and how it works. This helps you engage into full awareness and keep score as to where you stand in relation to your desire, goals, and even your bigger dreams. And lastly, number three, stop thinking about the law of attraction in terms of a magic wand that you hope will create paradise for you, but instead see it as a part of you that you must fully use with absolute awareness, because you have a moral obligation to prosper and become a phenomenal example for others to follow. You owe it to yourself and others. So consider that. So this is the end of this lesson, and I'm going to wrap up this 5-part series on how to hack the law of attraction. Obviously, this is a basic understanding of the principles that you can use in life so as to create a life of wealth and prosperity. And of course, here wealth and prosperity are relative terms. It's what you consider as wealth and prosperity. You can use this to create that lifestyle of what you perceive is wealth and prosperity. Now, of course, this is a short explanation. I go into more in-depth explanation in my book, Blueprint for Immortality, the Quantum Code for Life Secrets to Success. I highly encourage you that you get your own hard copy and read that many times. This will help you integrate true factual knowledge and wisdom and understanding as you work to achieve your dreams and goals. It will certainly support this channel, and it will certainly help others to get access to the same information. For as you integrate knowledge and you broadcast the frequency of the nature of this knowledge, others will pick it up, and then in turn they will integrate and in turn broadcast the same information, and sort of like create a snowball effect where we can positively impact the minds of people around the world and turn it into a better place to live where you and I can prosper. So again, I look forward to my next post, and if you haven't already listened to the other ones in this YouTube channel, again, I suggest you listen to them over and over again, take lots of notes, and make and integrate the information and make it a part of you. All right, if you like this audio, put a like, also put a comment if you feel you got benefit from it, and if you have a question as well, I will integrate questions that people may have and create content so as to answer questions, so I can help you progressively have a better understanding of the information so you can create a better life for you and your loved ones.